He is heading into his first full season as a Vancouver Canuck after being traded at the end of January last year. He has played in 522 NHL games through 9 seasons, represented Sweden this summer at the World Championships, and is a big part of the Canucks defense core this coming season. Marcus Pettersson is our guest today on the pod. Welcome back to the podcast, Marcus. How was the last bit of your summer? Because we talked in the middle of summer last.
Yeah, thank you very much. Glad to be back here. Always good to be on the show. So had a good rest of the summer. Got ready for this season and got some good downtime and worked out good. So it's a good summer.
That's awesome. I do have to say thank you because you did give me some advice. I think last time you were on the pod, I was 2 months away from having my son being born, and you told me sleep when it's possible. That
Yeah,
is the best advice you can give someone because
yeah.
the sleep has been tough for the last little bit, but we love the little guy. So I got to
Well,
say thank you for that right off the top.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Take me through the last bit of summer, though. What was it like for you in the second half of summer and kind of wrapping up for the season here?
Yeah, it was good. It's always good to see family again. We're a long way from home and family and friends. So good to see them and spend time with them and get ready for the season again. It was a long summer where our team was off for a long time. Obviously, talked about it, played in the World, so it makes it a little bit shorter, but got some good quality reps in with my group over there and got to work good on the ice. So, as soon as the Worlds was over, it was straight back to get better and getting ready for the season. So it was good.
That's awesome. Away from hockey, talk me through what was like a big highlight for you over the summer. Was there one kind of trip that stuck out or one weekend or something like that?
Uh, we have a big family reunion. That's about it. We had kind of a quiet summer that way. We didn't travel much. We didn't do a whole lot. So it was a great summer back home with the weather and stuff. So just try to take advantage of that because you don't get that too many times up there north. So honestly, like I said, just to spend quality time with our families um, yeah. So it was kind of a quiet summer then in that regard.
So I'm going to try and pronounce the city name. I did see some comments last time that I didn't do a great job. Skellefteå? Was that?
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah. So the A with the kind of a circle above it is O. So
Okay.
Skellefteå. Yeah,
So like Niels Mon. Okay.
exactly. There you
Perfect.
go.
That'll help a lot of people out here.
Yeah,
Hopefully that was
yeah,
okay for me.
yeah,
Talk me through some of those skates there. I think we touched on it last time you were on the pod, but it seems like a pretty good group of guys up there.
yeah. We have a good group. We got Adam Larson who plays in Seattle. Arvidsson, Victor Arvidsson. We got Raquel there, Philip Gustafsson, the goalie, and a few guys that play in Europe as well. Very, very good players. So, yeah, it's a small town, but it's a big hockey town. So we've been fortunate enough to kind of work together for a long time and yeah, push each other in the summers. 'Cause that's what it's all about. If you have a good group and um, good people around you, you can get better. And so it's a good group for being such a small town, honestly.
Yeah, it must be interesting then because like in Europe it's a little different here, obviously in junior hockey in Canada. So you're like there's U16 teams and U18 teams. That must be a pretty cool setup then. What was that like kind of growing up and growing through that as you kind of develop in your teenage years?
Yeah, it helps with a lot with like the team bonding. I feel like, um, you stay with you have like tryouts and stuff, but basically stay the entire team up from whatever U10 maybe to U16 and into to juniors, under 18s and under 20s. So pretty much you stay with your group and you build relationships that way that you bring for the rest of your life basically. So yeah, it's ingrained in that regard where you kind of learn the team aspect of things. And I think that's always a big saying about Swedish players too. Like you see guys that are very team oriented from early on, and they kind of learn the ins and outs. And I mean, I played for the same team basically my whole life. So you get to see the big leagues and the big league in Sweden there at an early age, and you kind of have a good goal to strive towards. And so it's kind of let's say a red thread throughout the whole organization where the U12 team pretty much tries to play the same way as the SHL team. So it helps that way to develop early on and develop a good hockey IQ, and it's helped me for sure.
That's awesome. Heading into this year now, Quite a different kind of arrival to Vancouver for you. You actually get a training camp. What does that mean for you, kind of, to get started with this season and actually have a training camp this year? Like, how different is that from last year when you just get plopped in here at the start of February and you're just here after a trade?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, every time you go through a trade like that in the middle of the season, it's not only do you got to get acclimated on the ice and learn a new system, and you got to learn new friendships off the ice too. And I have a family, so for my family to get to know everybody and get settled in, and so like you said, you build a lot of trust in each other in training camp, and you go through a lot of hardships in training camp, and training camp's hard, and you go through it together, and you build chemistry, you build trust in each other in that way. So it's always a great advantage to get like a full training camp with a new team.
And for you, like a guy who's played over 500 games in this league, what's your kind of focus at a training camp? I feel like it's a lot different than a guy like, Braden Coots coming into his first time and seeing what it's all like here. What's your kind of goal here through training camp, just personally?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's different from a young guy. Maybe first training camp, you get kind of try to take all in. But I think mindset wise, I mean, I try to have the same mindset as I did when I had my first training camp. You know, try to still be learning new things and get better every day. I don't think I think one thing I don't want to do is get complacent and kind of feel like, oh, I got a lot of games now. I can kind of take a back seat in training camp. I still want to get quality reps in and get better each day. So as much as you can, like you get more comfortable. That's the thing. You get more comfortable with the league and trying to play your game. But I still try to get better every day.
And what's it like now with the group? Because you get to training camp, there's like 50 plus guys, there's all these skaters, and you've been through some cuts now, you got some cuts downs. What's it like to now kind of see this group start to form here for the season as these practices feel like they're kind of ramping up towards the regular season?
They are, and it's getting more and more fun for each day. Like it's great early on when you got a lot of guys who got a lot of competitiveness in camp. You get some scrimmages. So that healthy competition is always good for a training camp. I think it kind of ups the tempo and the intensity out there. So everybody's fighting for their spot and for their role on the team, and I think we got to keep that going throughout the rest of the training camp too. And in the games, make sure we nail all the details that we've been talking about, and I think we've been doing a good job of that. So. Yeah, like you said, they're ramping up, and it's a lot of fun.
Last time you were on the pod, you talked about after missing the playoffs that you guys wanted this to be a revenge season. I've heard Marcus Pettersson mention a revenge season as well. And something you said was like missing the playoffs should really help fuel the fire for guys in the summer. Did you get that feeling throughout the offseason, having communications with some teammates and maybe some coaches as well?
For sure. I think always when you have results that you don't want, it can add fuel to the fire, like I said. And we've been talking a lot about here about the past is the past, and we're in the here right now. And I think we have had great focus throughout the whole training camp of just that, being in the moment, being taking each day by day. And yeah, but we got that fire. I think we can tell on the ice we're competitive in every rep, and taking every rep for our last. And so it for sure adds fuel to the fire, but at the same time, we've been talking a lot about being in the here and this season, and not talk too much about the past. But knowing that we didn't have the result that we wanted, but now it's this year, we want to make sure we get off to a good start.
And like there was a lot of changes last year, some changes in the offseason as well. I'm kind of curious to get your point of view on this, of just where this team is at when kind of creating a new team culture. Like, do you guys have to kind of establish that in a season like this where you really want to turn the page from last year, or is it building off of last year? How does it kind of go, just establishing what this Vancouver Canucks team has to be all about this year?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I mean, we got a lot of the same players back. Obviously, with new coaching staff, Footer, everybody knows, but a lot of other, or the whole coaching staff apart from that is brand new. So getting to know each other, getting to know what they like, and details in the game. Yeah, so I mean, you build a culture here in training camp, and I think that the culture has been here for a long time, even from a long time ago, from a lot of legends that have been here. So that culture stays, and it's just up to us to kind of carry the torch in that way.
And there's been a lot of talk about like the defense being a big strength of this team, the defense and the goaltending together. How much pride do you take in that and kind of hearing that about this team?
Yeah, obviously it's always fun to hear. I think, like you said, our goaltending tandem here is probably the best in the league, and that always helps. That makes having good goalies makes defense look better. So that always helps. So we can't take all the credit. I think it's a lot up to our goalies, but I think throughout our whole lineup, we're a very responsible team where we take pride in defending. Not even talking about the defense, but our forwards help us out a lot too, and having good gaps and working their tail off. And I think it starts up the ice, and got to give our forwards a lot of credit too for taking pride in playing a responsible game. So I don't think it's up to any part of the team that kind of separates that. I think it's a whole team thing. You play offense five men, and you play defense even 6 men. So I think, or even offense too. Goalies breaking pucks out and stuff like that. But so I don't think it's you can pinpoint to one specific thing. But obviously, it's a 5-man effort every time you're on the ice for both ways.
I know there's a couple guys that really impressed at the end of last year with DPD at the NHL level and Victor Mancini as well in the AHL playoffs, everything he did. Tom Verlander is obviously a high draft pick. These 3 young defensemen that have been here at camp, what have you thought about them kind of trying to impress here? Impress the coaches, impress the players, impress everyone with the way they've played in camp and preseason so far?
Yeah, they've done well. They're making the coaches and the management job hard, and you love to see that. You love to see them going out there, play their game, kind of fearless. All 3 of them, they're giving everything every time they're on the ice. So that's kind of what I was touching on earlier with healthy competition. It's always nice to have, and it pushes everybody else around them too. So I'm very impressed with all 3 of them, and they're making a lot of people's jobs hard, and you love to see that.
For the guy that doesn't make the NHL team, like you did it in your rookie year, where you kind of bounced around the AHL and NHL a little bit. What does that do for such a young player in developing when you're kind of getting time in the AHL but a little bit of NHL? Do you remember back to your rookie season what you thought you kind of took away from that?
Yeah, my rookie season, I got sent down. I don't know when in camp it was, but I got sent down to start the year down in the NHL, and I think I grew a lot from that. Getting a lot of minutes down there. Maybe there's a young guy that you can argue that he should stay up with the big club, but sometimes getting a lot of the minutes always helps too. So, and then got called up halfway through the year, February, I think it was. So a little bit more than halfway, and took a lot from my time in Anaheim, and kind of learning to be a pro here in North America, because it's a lot different than Sweden. Even though I played pro hockey back home, it's a lot different, and a lot more games, more travel, stuff like that. Kind of how to navigate throughout our whole season, and so I took a lot of pride in trying to learn as much as I could down there, and yeah, just when you get a chance, try and take it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I find it like it could be kind of hard if you're down in the AHL and you're playing, 24 minutes a night and you're the guy as a defenseman, but then you come to the NHL and maybe you're only doing 12 on a third pairing. Like, can you explain how that's like, how to go through that? I feel like that would be a difficult transitional.
Yeah, it would. The NHL is the NHL, and you take all the minutes you can get up here, and but yeah, for sure. I mean, as defenseman usually plays a little bit more than the average forward, and so having a lot of minutes down there, it develops your game and you learn how to play that way. But also playing 12, 13 minutes as a young guy, it's tough too, because you don't get the same flow and rhythm, and for a defenseman, it's a lot about that. And so learning both things, learning how to play both ways, and learning that if you only have those 12, 13 minutes, then play simple and take what the game kind of gives you and not force anything. Because I think if you got a lot more minutes, you kind of get into the rhythm kind of thing. And so that's something you got to learn too. You got to learn how to play a bunch of different ways and different roles, and But honestly, as a young guy, you see these young guys too when they get on the ice, they try to take advantage of as much as they can and play their game, and that's what you got to do. And been very impressed with them so far, like I said.
Well, I know a lot of these young guys are learning from you. I want to get it kind of in your words. How do you want to be a leader to this Vancouver Canucks team?
Yeah, just try to be myself. Try to lead by example. Do the things right that we talk about, and um, yeah, try not to go out of my way and do something that's not me, but just do the right things. I think lead by example is something I've always wanted to be able to do, and if they have questions, feel like they can come to me, and yeah, just be a good teammate, and yeah, be myself. Like I said, don't try and go out of my way and try to be something that I'm not, and just lead by example as much as I can.
Something I've heard a lot throughout camp. I don't want to say a lot, but a few times I've heard it. The importance of these first 10 games of the season, especially after a year like last year. Is that something that's talked about a lot in this room? Because I've heard it a few times in the media here a little bit from you guys.
Yeah, you always want to get off to a good start. But like you said, especially when you have the result that you didn't want the previous year, and obviously with this year too being having the Olympic break and having a lot of condensed games, if you get off to a little bit of a run, you can do some damage because there's so many condensed games. And at the same time, if you have a little bit of a slump, make sure you snap that slump right away. So I think the start is huge, and it is for every team every year. I don't think it's different. It's tough to kind of climb out of a hole. Doesn't matter what the situation and the team. It's always tough. So yeah, make sure we're hitting the ground running, and I think we've touched on a lot of details and kind of checked a lot of the boxes that we've been talking about and getting better here. So I think we're poised for a good start.
You talked about the condensed schedule, like, and you mentioned the goalies already. Like, that must be a huge advantage for you, knowing that, with more back-to-backs and less days off, like having Thatcher and Lankinen be your guys, like that must be a huge confidence boost, like you kind of mentioned earlier.
It is reassuring for sure. Whenever you have that tandem and two really good goalies, as a defenseman, especially, like, you don't have to change your game much depending on who's playing. So it's very reassuring for us, and we got to make sure we do our job in front of them and let them see pucks, because if they see pucks, they're probably going to make stops. So yeah, keep it simple and then play hard.
How important is it for this group to make the playoffs this year, do you think?
Yeah, it's important every year. I think for this group, I saw a lot of things from a couple of years ago where went into that second round against Edmonton, and you saw the team and how the city kind of rallied behind the team. And obviously watching the finals in 2011, you see whenever you have a city like this that's so passionate about hockey, it's very motivating. And I think it's for our group, I think we're ready for it. And but it can't look too far ahead. Like I said, good start. Got to look each day, each game as it comes, and take it day by day.
And I know we kind of touched on this last time. Like, there's got to be an excitement level for you personally, to get a chance to kind of go on one of these playoff runs, something you haven't experienced yet. But like for you, like I have to imagine the playoff style hockey is something you must be excited about as well. Like, because that feels like it fits the way that you like to play.
Yeah, I think it's always fun. The intensity goes through the roof compared to a regular season, and the hype around it, the crowd is always into it, and it's hostile, and you build rivalries that way. You get to play a lot of minutes against the same guys, and I love that, honestly, and I think a lot of us do. I think every NHL player dreams about being in a cup final or whatever. But like I said, I don't think we can get too far ahead of ourselves and look too far ahead and say, hey, we got to make the playoffs in October. You don't make the playoffs in October, but so take each day as it comes, and each game and each shift. So I think it's a lot easier that way, and do it together.
In the offseason, Kevin Dean was added to the coaching staff, and he's got so much experience in this league working with defensemen. What's it been like the first couple months here, just getting a chance to get to know him on the ice and now a couple games as well with him on the bench? Like, what's it been like working with Kevin Dean?
It's been great. He's a great person. He's a guy that you always can come talk to, no matter what it is. Obviously, it's mostly hockey, but no matter what it is, you can come talk to him, and its door is always open. And I feel like that with the whole our coaching staff. I think you can talk to them about everything, and that's how you build relationships. You build trust in each other, and I think on the ice, like his vision for the game has been awesome, and trying to take in as much as he can, new things that he might bring to the table that you haven't heard before, and he loves hearing your side of things as well, and you love that back and forth kind of thing, and it puts trust in each other, and I think that's huge. So it's been great, and looking forward to the year.
So obviously at this time of year, there's lots of cuts to the roster as you guys kind of get towards that regular season. I did want to ask, has there been any cuts to the DJ in the locker room? Has there been any changes this year, or is it the same guy? How's that working this year?
Not really. I haven't seen anything yet. It's different. You play a lot of games with different lineups and stuff like that. So I don't know. We have an iPad that kind of goes around in the locker room a little bit too. I know Brock has it a lot, so he's been doing a great job. The little I saw of him last year, so he probably gets to keep the job. But I think it kind of goes around. Everybody knows the password to that iPad, so it's a free for all.
Has anybody shocked you with some music choices? Like, has it been like, whoa, I didn't expect that out of this guy?
Not really so far. I know Max Sasson in the Abbotsford game kind of had the login to the DJ. He played a Swedish song there, so he knew a Swedish song. So that was kind of impressive. So that was fun to see. But other than that, not really. It's been good so far.
He must know his audience though, with all the Swedes in the locker room.
I guess so. Yeah,
that's a veteran move from a young guy there.
Yeah, it is.
We'll wrap up on this. Need an update. Last time you were on, you told us your son was big into badminton. Did he stick with badminton throughout the summer, or did he move on to something else?
He's big into all sports, honestly. It's everything. Everything that if something pops up on TV, he wants to play it right away. With the football season started here, we had a football, a little soft football at home, and he kind of wanted to try that out and try and hit me and stuff like that. So he's whatever he feels like for that day, but he's big into sports, so that's always fun to see and fun to do as well. So I think he's versatile that way, but for sure badminton's still on the table too, probably.
Yeah, that's all. I guess it was much easier for you kind of settling in to Vancouver, like you kind of mentioned it earlier, for the family and everything to settle into Vancouver. What does that mean for you, just personally, having that kind of backdrop now in Vancouver?
Yeah, it's huge. Last year getting traded, it was kind of right before Four Nations break. So I kind of came alone, and we're gone from our families so much during the year anyway, and being gone more wasn't nice. But now getting to travel over together and getting my son acclimated with whatever it is, preschools and activities and stuff like that, and learning the language too, because obviously we speak a different language at home, and now he's getting a little bit older, trying to snap up on words and stuff like that, and so it's for sure a huge adjustment, but it's nice to kind of get to travel over together and do everything together and get situated as a family. And it's a beautiful city to live in, and quality of life here is that's great. So we've been loving it so far.
That's awesome. Well, I'll try and throw a little Swedish out here to close out. Tack for din tid.
Tack för din tid.
That's pretty good. Thanks for your time on the podcast here.
That was really good.
Okay, I'm on Duolingo. I'm about 700 days in. I feel like I should know more.
It sounded
doing 2 years of this.
It sounded Duolingo to me. So
okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'll give you a thumbs up for that.
All right, well, I'll keep working on it. I feel like I was better in French with PO last week.
Yeah.
So I might just stick.
It's a little closer, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Marcus, thanks so much for jumping on the podcast again for the second time now, and best of luck with the season. Obviously, it's an exciting time of year for you guys moving forward here, and we're excited to get things going next week, man. So thanks for jumping on the pod.
We are too. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. Tack.
Ta-